Last year, we created our first proper figure adventures.
And here is how we made it.
I do want to start by saying that there will be spoilers for this episode, so if you haven't already, go and watch the episode first.
In this video, we are going to tell you all the tips and tricks,
how we made the story and the creation of the CIPHIENS, and much more.
We had been waiting to make an episode or series for Doctor Who for a while. In fact, we've been hinting to this ever since our comeback in 2018.
During our comeback, we released a video called 7 Places Doctor Who Needs to Go in Series 11. In this video, I spoke about locations I wanted to see in Doctor Who, and one of these was the circus.
There was also going to be more hints and Easter eggs to Monster in the Mirror in the subscriber specials, and even in a video which was going to be dedicated to toys.
You can probably guess that we're both into action figures, but what you might not know is that me and Christopher have always been into stop motion animation. Hey, if you dig deep enough into the channel, you might find some of our first attempts.
Don't do that! How it began. Originally, we wanted to make a full series of episodes to come out starting with Monster in the Mirror as episode 1. Although this sadly wasn't possible as we were running behind with videos and there just wasn't enough time.
So instead we opted just to focus on Monster in the Mirror and make it a Halloween special. Story. In the series, pretty much all the locations in 7 Places Doctor Who Needs to Go were going to be in the series, but originally Monster in the Mirror had nothing to do with a circus.
I had an idea of a monster that could travel through mirrors, and this was going to be the first episode. And then we realised that this storyline would fit quite nicely into a circus setting, particularly the Hall of Mirrors.
But I really wanted the villain of the circus story to be clowns, despite how cliche it was.
So we put both ideas together,
thus creating the CIPHIENS.
Characters. Because at the time no one was really doing a 13th Doctor figure adventures, we decided to base it off of Series 11. We wanted to focus quite heavily on Ryan and Yaz because at the time they had the least character development.
For the Doctor, we really wanted to see a more darker side for her, so we did everything we could to break the Doctor. Her plans failed most of the time, the monster was pure evil, and they took all her friends.
I know, right? Harsh. But this is Doctor Who, so we wanted the ending to be the Doctor truly being the Doctor, with saving her friends and stopping the CIPHIENS.
Now onto the side characters. First, Jed was put there as we wanted the cold open to be quite intense, and that meant sacrificing one of the characters.
We then had Alfie, the cowardly friend who put everyone else in danger, with him constantly running away. By the time he'd built up the courage to tell Martin that he wanted to quit his job, it ended up being his demise.
Finally, Martin. We loved the idea that these creatures could control a human and treat him almost like a puppet.
And we knew that we would have to take out Martin in a brutal way due to him being so dangerous.
The CIPHIENS. We wanted to make one of the most evil creatures in Doctor Who, so we gave you the CIPHIENS.
With their clown-like appearance, evil laugh and sharp nails, we tried to make them as scary as possible.
I always used to have a massive fear of clowns, and it's actually quite a common phobia, so we based them off clowns. They were inspired by the likes of Pennywise the Clown from It and the Joker.
We're really happy with how they came out, and who knows, maybe they'll return one day.
So we've got the story, setting, characters and villains. It's time to create Monster in the Mirror.
Equipment. The best thing about figure adventures is all you really need is the figures and a story, and you can use your phone or any sort of camera to film.
But being perfectionists and knowing that we will need this in the future, I got this amazing camera as an early birthday present from my mum and dad, and I couldn't be more grateful.
And for our light, we used an LED lamp as well as some normal desk lamps.
Lighting. Some of you may be wondering how we made all our different shots different colours. Well, we actually used tissue paper over the LED lamp, and it worked really well. And it's definitely a way cheaper alternative to gels.
And for the shots in the Hall of Mirrors, you're probably wondering why it's so colourful. Well, we used the same sort of idea, but this time we put them on the table and put them close enough to get a faint, blurry reflection within the mirrors.
If you mess around with different colours and different ideas, it can be a really fun process. And it can give you shots like this, which is our favourite shot from the whole story.
Tips and tricks. Finally, here is our tips and tricks to help you make your own FA. First of all, for us, having no deadlines really helps, because if you're working to a deadline, it can stress you out, and it's best to do it mainly for fun.
Keep yourself motivated to keep going. For me, after every big scene, I took a picture of a thumbs up to separate the scenes and to make me feel accomplished.
And finally, have fun! So that's pretty much it for our behind the scenes video.
It was hard work and at some point stressful, but it was completely worth it.
For our first proper figure adventures, we are over the moon with how it turned out.
If you're new, feel free to click that red button down below to join the adventure. This was last year's big project, so you may wonder, what is this year's?
If you have any questions about how we made certain scenes, feel free to let us know in the comments below. I've been Christopher.
And I've been Lewis.
And you've been...
Brilliant!
So crazy passion and we wanted you to know. So are you sitting comfortably? Our tribute to the show is, if we had to choose another, we just wanna know.